I tested 9 working glitches in Minecraft 1.21 and then rated them based on their enjoyability, the amount of effort it takes to build them and get them working, and of course, the value that they can add to your world. Let's get started. Starting with one of the most well-known and beloved glitches in Minecraft Java Edition being TNT Duplication. In terms of enjoyability, I think we can all agree this is a 10 out of 10. Being able to use one TNT to create many TNT is always something that people will love. Explosions, mwah, fantastic. Who doesn't love them? In terms of the amount of effort it takes to get this thing built, I would say it's pretty high. Probably, I'd say around a 7 in difficulty, because you do have to collect slime for both the sticky pistons and the slime blocks, as well as, of course, this coral fan, which can be a bit tricky to get your hands on if you don't have a coral reef nearby. And then in terms of value, I'd say this thing has immense value to a world, probably like an 8 or a 9. And I say that because obviously you can use this to dig down and, even make TNT launchers to dig sideways. It's a very useful tool to have at your disposal and a very nice glitch to know about and use if you would like to save yourself some time digging. Moving on, we have the Tripwire hook duplicator. This one's pretty interesting, and the way it's built is you've got a tripwire hook, some string, water, and then a door. Now this one works by when you place one of these tripwire hooks, it breaks it, duplicates it because this door opens. I'm not exactly sure the mechanics in the code that caused this to happen, but it is pretty interesting that you can just kind of stand here, keep placing them, and they will just duplicate and duplicate. Now, in terms of enjoyability, for me, I'd say this one's pretty low, honestly. It's meh to sit here and watch some tripwire hooks get duplicated. I'd say probably a 3 out of 10 in terms of enjoyability. In terms of the amount of effort required, it's gotta be like a 1, maybe a 2. Redstone's pretty deep, but even then, it's like none of this stuff is too hard to get your hands on. And of course, in terms of value it can add to your world, I'm gonna have to go with like a 1 or a 2 as well. Because, how often do you really need tripwire hooks? I could see maybe if you're a decorator and you just like to have them kind of around as decoration. Yeah, maybe that could add some more value for you. But I think for most people, this will be relatively low in terms of value. Moving on, we have the rail duplicator. And what you'll see here is that this setup allows these rails that have been placed already to be duplicated over and over again. This is really interesting. And in terms of enjoyability, I'd say it's probably a strong 6. I'd say a strong 6 for this one. Because, you can get some rails out of it, and you get to watch rails fly around a little bit. I'd say that that's at least more enjoyable than tripwire hooks for sure, by quite a margin. In terms of the amount of effort it takes to build this, I'm gonna say it's a little bit less for sure than the TNT duplicator, because all you need is the slime as a rare resource. So I'd say probably like a 5 in terms of difficulty or effort to get this one up and running. And then of course, in terms of value, this one can be actually incredibly valuable based on what kind of rail you want to use. If you're doing powered rails, this is incredibly useful because those can add up in terms of cost rather quickly with the gold crafting. So I'd say value, I'd give this one a strong 6 or a 7. The next one we have here is a carpet duplicator. Now this one has kind of the same design as our rail duplicator did previously, but it does add these coral fans. In terms of enjoyability here, I'd say that this one is probably maybe just 1 up from this one. I'm not even sure what I marked that one as. I think I marked it as like a 5 or a 6. So this is either a 6 or a 7 based accordingly on how that one goes. In terms of the effort it takes to build this, it is gonna probably match the TNT duplicator at a 7, just because you do have to get your hands on the coral fans as well as the slime blocks and sticky pistons. So this one's rather fun that it shoots these carpets all the way out here. So let's go ahead and shut this one off for now because it's gonna drive me crazy here. And then of course in terms of value, I'd say that this one's pretty valuable, not quite as valuable as the rails though. So I'd probably put it 1 or 2 under where I put these rails, just because, I mean, carpet's nice, but is it really gonna be a game changer for you? Probably not. Now moving on to the next one, we have an item duplicator. I'm not sure if this one even works. I have not tested it yet because it does have a bit more steps to the process. So let's test this one out ourselves here live and we'll see if it works. So from what I understand, what we're gonna do here is in our video settings, make sure that we are at max render distance. We're gonna save and quit to title. Enter our world again, go ahead and place all these into our chest, and then we are going to kill the task in Task Manager for Minecraft. I have a feeling this could cause problems for us, but we're going to test it out and see. Alright, now that we're back in the Minecraft application, we're going to turn our video settings back down to their normal settings and re-enter the world. And it looks like it didn't work. So this one, I guess we'll call a myth bust for 1.21.8, which is the current version I'm playing in. And if I did something wrong, you guys can let me know, or if you just have to try it a couple times. But for now, I'm gonna leave that one as a bust, meaning in terms of enjoyability, absolute 0. Effort, 10, because it's all effort for no gain, and value, of course, 0. The next one on our list is the gravity duplication glitch. Now this one is already pretty well known, as well as the TNT duplication glitch, because what this allows you to do is drop gravity blocks such as gravel, sand, red sand, and even stuff like the Ender Dragon egg into a portal and have it duplicated. So what we'll do is we'll drop 1, 2, 3 of these blocks, and we'll go ahead and try with 1, 2, 3 pieces of gravel as well. We jump through the portal here. You can see there we've got 7 and 5. So we do know, 7 and 7. So we do know that those items are being duplicated. In terms of enjoyability, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna have to score this one pretty low. I don't find this very enjoyable for myself. Plus, I mean, I like gathering blocks. It's not so bad. So I'll give this one a 4. It's enjoyable. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like, you know, changing my life or anything. In terms of effort, you do have to find an end portal, which is a relatively high bar for entry. The rest of it is rather simple. You just have to be, I think, 6 or 7 blocks above the portal, and you have to have fences below it because it breaks the gravity blocks, you know. And then from there, I mean, yeah, I'd say it's probably like a 5 in terms of effort. I say that finding the end portal is probably the hardest part for this one. And then of course value, I think this one can be immensely valuable. Probably about the same 8 or 9, maybe even 10 compared to the TNT duplication, because having, well, that's embarrassing, because having a bunch of the gravity blocks can actually be really useful. Sand and gravel, I mean, they're pretty good blocks to have on hand. To the next glitch, which will be very similar to the glitch that comes after it. This is a X-Ray glitch, which I think is rather interesting. I've never really used glitches like this, but let's make sure we've got this in the right position. There we go. So this one allows you to place slabs in an orientation around you, and then when you push a slab into yourself, you can see through the floor. I think that one's pretty darn cool, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I'm very happy with a glitch like that. You know, who doesn't want to be able to see through the world? Very useful. In terms of enjoyability, I'd say probably like a 6 or a 7. Because being able to see, obviously if we weren't in a super flat world, seeing below the ground is very, very useful. In terms of effort, relatively low. If you wanted to just use a piston, you could, so you don't even really need the sticky piston. So I'd probably put this one at maybe a 2 or a 3 in terms of effort. And then of course getting out can be a little bit tricky, but yeah, I mean, effort pretty low for this one, and then value can be incredibly high based on, you know, what you've got around. I would say value, man, it's hard because I've got all these other ones and I don't remember what I rated them. We'll call it a 6. A 6 seems relatively valuable, maybe even a 5 or a 4, honestly, and it'll go the same for this one. So this one here is going to be another X-ray glitch, and for this one we will need a pig, a saddle, and just for the ease of use, a carrot on a stick. So what we've got here is slabs all above our heads, and then if we go ahead and throw the saddle on this guy and hop on him, we can see above us. So I mean, honestly, I'm just going to give this one the exact same ratings as the previous one. It's a slab X-ray glitch. Nothing really too interesting to see here. To the last glitch, one that I have used personally in one of my worlds and can speak very highly of because of its usefulness. This is a Bedrock Breaking glitch. Very cool, very mysterious. How do you break bedrock, right? Like, it's not supposed to be breakable. But anyway, so this one is pretty cool. We'll see if I can get it to work here within the first few tries. Hopefully this worked. I'm gonna change my keybind back because I did do a keybind swap to make this a little bit easier, and we'll see if this worked. And it did. So what you'll see there is that when the piston was facing up after, well, I guess I should explain how this works. So how you get this to work is you have to be under this trap door, flick this lever over here, and then continually try and place a piston in this corner right here. When it works, it does appear with the piston facing upward like this, and then if you break that piston, you'll notice that the bedrock below it is broken. In terms of enjoyability, honestly, very low enjoyability. We're talking like slim to none, 1 or a 0. But in terms of effort and value, very worth it. Effort, I mean, you do need like obsidian, cobblestone, TNT levers. Really not that much effort. We're talking probably like a 3 or 4 max in terms of effort. And then value, I mean, 10 out of 10 for sure. Being able to break bedrock, especially on the nether roof, is extremely valuable. And this is how I actually built a gold farm in my single player world, by breaking the bedrock on top of the nether roof and then building a gold farm up there. That is going to be it for this video. If there are any other glitches that you guys know about and want me to cover them here, then definitely let me know. But these ones came from actually a channel called Briancraft, where he covered all the available and working duplication glitches in Minecraft 1.21. I'll go ahead and link that in the description if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys all stay safe and have a wonderful day. See you guys in the next one.